Week 6 of the pursuit is officially done. Patrick, we're back. How we feeling?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not feeling great from my performance this week. Right now, I'm feeling okay because I'm hydrated and I'm, well fed and things. But this week was definitely a struggle for me, and we can jump into the specifics of that. But this was by far the most challenging week, I would say. And workout wise, I had a lot of ups, but majority were some downs. What about you?
Yeah, so my week was overall, it honestly started terrible and then finished strong. So very similar to Patrick in that regard, like both dealing with adversity. And I think it's best if we just give the overview of the week and then just jump immediately into highs and lows, and that'll kind of like guide the conversation that way. So
Okay.
this week was the most mileage we've ran up to this point. It was on paper between 34 to 36 miles, depending on one of the tempo runs. And it was 6 days of running. So it was Monday through Saturday running every day. We did back to back tempo days or like speed days, which, yeah, like definitely tough on the body. And it just, like, it gave such a realization and like just a slap in the face for how much recovery and like being hydrated, like being fueled properly, like really means. And then we had 2 days in the gym as well. So instead of 3 days in the gym, we had two, and yeah, 6 days of running. So with that, Patrick, I think let's just hear your lows and then the highs you
Yeah,
had.
I can definitely start it off for this week. Exactly what Tristan said. The thing that really deterred me, I guess, is that's honestly the best word is deterred um, from doing what I should be doing. Granted, I tried to do every single workout, and just to let you guys know right off the bat, I had to quit the long run. It was a 12 miler. I quit at 9. Um, but the majority of the reason was just looking back on it now was nutrition and rest prior and just doing things proper for my body. So I was traveling all this week. I'm not making that as an excuse. I'm just letting you guys be aware of the situation. I flew home to Sarasota, Florida, and then I drove up to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for my startup where my partner and I are doing a big marketing campaign up in Myrtle Beach. It's a golf company, and Myrtle Beach is like one of the golf companies of the world or golf capitals of the world. So there's a lot of traveling, but we had the 12-mile run on Saturday, and I just knew the night before I wasn't properly nourished and I definitely wasn't hydrated enough. I'm used to having my electrolytes, Cadence, which is literally 500 milligrams of salt water. I had none of that stuff. I was just drinking water and Gatorade and like eating bananas the night before and the morning prior. So I kind of knew going into it I wasn't really prepared properly or what I had been before, and every single mile. I mean, I've never had a run like this. Every single mile was like a pretty brutal battle. Like, it started off physical, which is what I'm used to. Like, my feet and my tibia and my shins were in pain, but like after 2 or 3 miles, usually I'm ready to go after that. But that consisted throughout the entirety of the 9 miles, and I would say the last six miles to 9 miles, I was dizzy, my head was pounding, and then what really made me stop and what made me concerned was 8 mile to 9 mile. I just stopped sweating and my body started getting super cold and like weird chills. And that's when I had to literally stop. I mean, I texted Tristan as soon as I stopped and I was like, listen, man, I'll man up to it, but I'm bitching out. Like something weird's going on. And, talking with Tristan and once again the situation that we're in and having this accommodation with one another and being there but also pushing each other really helped. And it was just like pretty much you're making the right decision to stop. Like, this is not worth you potentially having a heat stroke or injuring yourself. um, and so I just knew I kind of needed to stop, and that was really frustrating mentally, obviously, because I felt like a you know major B word, I guess, or on YouTube. But I felt really soft and just not like myself, which I think could also be a learning thing. Like, kind of taking your medicine when you know things aren't going well, even if mentally you can be doing more. But yeah, all in all, this week, especially that run, was a really troublesome and just kind of grind week for me. And just kind of letting you guys know where I'm at now. I am in one of my friend's houses in Myrtle Beach. And like I said, for one of the startups I'm doing, it's a golf company, so I'm golfing 2 rounds a day for 7 days a week. But I'm here right now, and I'm going to obviously get the runs in and things. But it's not an excuse. It's just me letting you guys know what's happening. It's a lot of travel, and it's a lot of just kind of curveballs that I'm not used to. But we're going to get things done, and I feel bad for letting myself and I guess in a way Tristan down for the last run in this last week, but it's going to make me stronger and us stronger and just continue to move forward. And it's not going to happen again. But yeah, it was for sure a rough week for me. Not a lot of ups, a lot of downs.
Well, I actually want to counter that. I think you're suffering a little bit from recency bias because of that long run. I think you did crush the two tempo runs that we had. Uh,
Yeah,
and so the first one, it was a mile warm up and then 3 miles at quote unquote marathon pace, which, Patrick, I think you approached it the same way I did. We don't really know what that pace is going to be. We have like a loose goal, but I know I definitely went at it with just trying to go at a pace that was I felt uncomfortable at more mentally than physically, where it's like physically I felt fine, but mentally it was like I'm not used to being in discomfort while running for a
yeah,
sustained period of time. And then you finish those 3 miles, and then it's 1 mile pretty fast, 90-second break, 1 mile pretty fast, 90-second break, mile cool down. And like just looking at your times, like we were very similar in those times. And it's like I know that was a good day for you, so I'll just call you out and like tell you that I don't
thank you,
like
brother.
me yeah, me not being with you all week and seeing like everything you've done, it's like I don't think your week was all bad. I think just the last part, uh, and I don't. It honestly could just be Florida humidity, where it's like I know you most of your runs are in Dallas, but like
That was brutal too.
my
I was surprised.
yeah, my worst long run we've had was that week one 8 mile run. I was down in Florida, and it's like I was run walking. It just killed me.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so there's just one of those runs, and like we've harped on this a lot, where it's like it's just one day, and it's like this is a 16-week journey that then turns into the rest of our lives. So it's like one day, and like that amount of time is kind of largely irrelevant if it's bad. It's just about
yeah,
the next day and the next weeks and months. So yeah, I think I can do my highs and lows. And so if Patrick's talking about fueling and like the importance of that, actually, I did want to say this. So fueling is something that we just need to constantly be aware of. You can't just go out and perform for 2 hours, 3 hours with like lack of nutrition. And it's especially important come race day, where we're training for so many weeks leading up to race day that we don't want fueling to be the issue that holds us back. We don't want to have stomach issues. So that's why it's like, I know the importance of practicing like the same breakfast I'm going to have race day and the same gels I'm using. Like, so my body gets used to that. It's just like that is a not necessarily like a glaringly obvious part of the whole process that is extremely, extremely important. Where it's like you need water during a 3 hour run. You can't just go for 3 hours without water. So there's things like that that we'll just constantly like improve on and get better at. But yeah, my highs and lows. So I started the week with a low. My left ankle was really sore from the run. I think I talked about that in our last video, and we had recorded last Sunday, so the Monday was the first run. But I went out for the run 5 miles, and I turned back at three, or I finished at three because my right calf was just so unbelievably tight, and I just didn't think it was worth it in the grand scheme of things to push through. And that ended up being the right choice because I woke up Tuesday for that tempo run, calf felt fine, was able to rip it. Then Wednesday we had a track day where we did the a ladder, so 200,
hmm
400, 800, 1200, 1600, and then back down. I actually did it with one of my buddies, and he's a better runner than I am, and he pushed me. But yeah, so largely after that day of my calf hurting, I had a great week, candidly speaking, from a running perspective. And I thought that I'd have arch pain going into Friday or going into Saturday for the long run, just because like that's something I've been dealing with. And like 6 days of running, like normally that rest day is very important for like my feet. but no pain on Saturday. And I think it's just showing like I've really been stretching my calves, stretching my Achilles, using the massage gun, using the foam roller, and I think all that stuff's just going to be incredibly important, like going forward. So
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And this week was just a show and tell of what nutrition means and what recovery means. And I need to take it a lot more serious, regardless of travel, regardless of anything. It needs to be top priority. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned. And that ladder workout was definitely my high for sure. I mean, I had a full belly of food and carbs. I had pasta and a bunch of Italian stuff. But regardless, I got it in when I really didn't want to. And it's the best run I probably felt this entire training program. So, bunch of lows
yeah,
this week, but that high was positive.
yeah. And I actually remember you had texted me saying like you were going to do it the next day, and then your next text from me, yeah, I just ripped it anyways. Here's how it went, and like it went
Yeah,
good for you. And it's like I know that made you feel good that you like made the choice, the hard choice in the moment to do the workout, but then you finished and you're like, I'm glad I didn't push this off till tomorrow. But
100%.
Patrick, I know you have to go, and we're a little
Yeah,
over
I mean,
10
this is
minutes.
kind of a makeshift week, and I apologize everyone who's listening and to Tristan, but yeah, I'm in the accommodation of other people. But regardless, it was a rough week. It was a learning week, and this week we're going to come back stronger. Tristan's ahead of me by one day for the workouts thus far. I got my first one tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Um,
Yeah, we're recording
Travel,
this
any
Monday.
excuse, we're jumping
Yeah,
into it.
this is Monday night. We're recording. Normally, we record on Sunday, so I've technically
Yeah,
already started week 7. But just quick overview of week 7. Patrick will be without a gym this week, so he's just going to do body weight stuff. So a lot of squats, a lot of broad jump burpees, because we
burpees.
know
Yeah,
like for Hyrox specifically, like that's the exercise that's going to jack up our heart rate. And running, we have 5 days of running and one speed day. That's is 1,000 meter repeats.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
1,000 meter repeats. We have 7 of them. That's tomorrow for me. It'll be Wednesday for Patrick, and then 14-mile long run on Saturday, which is the longest we've gone. But I'm excited for it. And then next week we will be together for the long run. So I think, yeah,
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 I'm
yeah,
not messing
yeah.
up my dates. Yeah, so we have that to look forward to. But yeah, so that is a wrap on week 6. Still lots of learning, lots of positives, some negatives, but yeah, the pursuit is ongoing.
And we
Let's
learned
go.
from it all, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, so good stuff. All right, Patrick, I'll let
Awesome.
you go. See you.
Peace, boys.